So the topics today, what is up with Obama's chef? Passed away, died.
How old?
That I don't know. The picture I saw, 40s,
Wow.
50s at the most.
The heck? Weird,
Paddleboarding,
man.
8 feet of water, which that's plenty of. I'm just not sure if it was in the pool or a pond. You'd have to fall and hit your head on the paddleboard and then drown that way or something. And of course, like, are we going to be able to see the body to see if there's? I doubt it. They're not. They really don't show pictures because it's in poor taste. But until that kind of starts happening, or we have somebody that goes and says, "Hey, I saw it. This is what I noticed." But whatever happened to his body, we just have to take somebody's word for it. So, and that's with really anything that comes out of the news until we see and can examine the evidence.
I think
We're just
Obama's the
going by what they
Manchurian
say.
candidate. I'm scared of him. I think he's a Manchurian candidate. I think
Yeah,
he's chipped.
the
I th-
jokes flying around are that they saw Obama doing gay stuff. He saw Obama
oh,
doing
God,
gay
come
stuff.
on. Oh, he got Volten Schmolten. Oy, oy, oy.
Apparently, it's alleged that Obama is gay. The Michelle being a man thing, I don't know. I've seen pictures, but they look like they're fake.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I do think she presents as like, a masculine built woman, sure. Doesn't make her a man though. Uh
Yeah.
I don't rule it out. I wouldn't say I'm 50-50, but I'm probably like I'm giving that like a 20% chance that it's a woman.
20% chance that Michelle Obama is
Is
a
a man,
woman,
is a
is a
man,
man.
sorry. Yes,
Okay.
thank you for correcting me.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna step out of that one. I don't get it. I think she's a. I think she's a. I think the kids look like the two of them, and I think she is. I think she's. I think they're actually a relatively good match for each other physiologically. I think. Yeah, I think they're cute.
They seem and they come off like they're a nice couple. I remember that's kind of what I thought.
Yeah, I just
Um,
know. So that's my
I
thing.
generally don't have. I don't ever really have a problem with any of these people that are presidents. I've been saying it for about a good 3 months now. Look at these people as just one sitcom. The president's a sitcom dad. His wife is a sitcom mom. The dad, they change up the characters. So I just think those people exist so that way you can complain about them instead of the people who are actually the people. I don't even call it the people anymore because it's power. It really is like the Lord of the Rings, and not to simplify it so much, but it's ultimately the people don't matter. It's how power function. So the power uses people as conduits, and some conduits are better, but power will always exist, and power will lay out plenty of traps. They'll throw out sitcom dads. Power wants to be hidden, but show themselves when they need to, so that way they can show people who or what power is essentially. But power can absolutely function through a sitcom dad and a sitcom mom and all and so on and so forth. I've said enough. It's your turn to talk.
I'm not sure. I I I I basically agree. I'm against the military industrial complex. Hail Eisenhower.
Hell, Eisenhower. And so, uh, percentage chance that Obama's chef is just some accident that happened to occur, or some funky shit's going on.
Mm, I think both. I tend to think people do. I mean, I knew a guy who was a really good surfer, surfing his local break that he
Mm-hmm.
surfed every day. But it had big boulders. It was crazy. But he was just one day, he surfed it for 25 years, and then one day I got him. He fell on his head, hit a rock. He was dead.
Sure.
And I will say this: accidents are. So I'm just putting out points. Just playing devil's advocate here. Accidents at that age are one of the leading causes of death. for because people are active and doing stuff in those years and doing kind of sometimes you know
You usually want somebody
whatever it
with you,
is.
so that way in case you do hit your head. I'm 50-50. I don't know
Water
much of
kills you pretty fast. You don't doesn't take much. I don't know. Yeah,
I'm
that's it.
50-50.
Yeah,
I don't know
you
much
don't
of the
know.
facts. I just know how things generally kind of go, and so
Yeah.
I can't really go much more one way or the other. Next topic.
Yep.
Jamie Foxx is back after
Uh-huh.
being sidelined for what seemed like months, like 6 months, a long time.
Okay. All right.
And he's looking, people say pale. Some people are saying,
All right.
oh, it's not him. To me, it looks like him. I just think he was sick for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So he's pale. What I hope happens is that he recovers and he gets his complexion back.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he looks like a guy
I would
who was
love
near
to
death.
see him. You know
Yeah.
what I really what the main reason I want to see him stick around?
Why?
I want him to play Obama's chef in the movie that they make about him.
Okay. Mm, I see the guy who played Iron Man playing Obama's chef. Uh,
Okay,
and Jamie Foxx playing. Hold on,
sure.
I got this.
Yep.
Um, I don't got it. Go ahead, you're next, please.
What do we think about the Jamie Foxx thing? What do we think why he was out? I think generally when they don't come out and say this is exactly what it was, he's kind of being weird about it, and that's the same thing happened to that football player. Unfortunately,
They're
with
saying complications from the jab.
no, they're saying everything but that, or maybe not saying everything but that, but they're
I
definitely
think
not
that's
saying
the
that.
thing that's being,
That's what's being floated
right.
around by the dissidents, by the people that are against the mainstream agenda. I mean, if I had to pick one, I'm not a medical expert, but I would go with that. But
Ice T
he's
said that.
also,
Ice Cube says that.
hmm
That's his assertion.
yeah, and this was the topic for number 5, but we're just going to bring it in here and combine it as two topics. We're doing the podcast power up when we combine two topics,
Okay.
make it one.
Okay.
And
Wow.
LeBron James's son, who's 18, he'll be 19 in October.
Okay.
He just had a cardiac arrest
Okay.
on court, and
Right.
we know this happens. It happened to Hank Gathers. I think there
Right.
was a
Yeah.
Reggie Lewis collapse on the court,
Someone else. Yeah.
but it's very rare.
Right.
Very rare. There was no, it's LeBron James's son. Nothing happened. No history of anything like this.
LeBron James advertises McDonald's. I would ask certain questions like, what was his diet? How does he
You
live?
know
What's
he's
his
not eating
lifestyle?
McDonald's.
I don't
Although
know.
maybe they are on the
Hey,
road when
I'll tell
they're
you some other things. Seriously, some athletes do stuff like that. Other things are like because they're working out so much. Hey, it's protein. They basically burn it. It's protein. It's fats. It's carbs. They can burn it
okay.
up. But there's also, I wonder what his whole lifestyle was. We don't know. Was he on coke? Maybe.
Basketball.
Seriously, I'm just wait.
LeBron James said he could be doing coke. We don't
You
know.
think that's ridiculous that
Doubt it.
LeBron James's son would do cocaine?
I don't think it's. I don't think
I'm
it's.
going to ask you this: is it ridiculous that Bill Cosby's son would do cocaine? Because he was found dead on the side of the road with a couple kilos of coke from a coke deal gone wrong.
No.
Yeah, he was.
No,
That
it's
did
not
happen.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
I
right. That's
know
what
that
I'm
happened.
saying.
Yeah,
They all, I'm just saying, the
but
rich
Bill
kid.
Cosby's son wasn't essentially a professional basketball player.
No, but
Always,
okay. I'm
life
just
is
gonna put.
consumed with
I'm gonna put it
basketball.
this way. I Professional athletes do party hard and do crazy drugs.
They do. Okay. Order of
Yeah,
probability.
yeah. Rich kid.
Order of probability. The shot, cocaine,
Right.
something else. Rank them
Hmm.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I'm just. Oh, okay. I'm gonna say first likelihood. I guess I would go with the shot,
Mm-hmm.
and the second likelihood is
Cocaine or other.
yeah, lifestyle things we don't know
Kind of
about,
sort of cocaine.
and just yeah, and maybe just pushing himself ridiculously hard, uh, training hard. It's just
Okay.
you push yourself to certain points. Maybe some kind of combination of those three could have happened. Who
Sure.
knows?
Yeah.
That's where I'd go. That's where I'd go.
Good answer. I like how you kind of wimped out and didn't give a
Yeah.
clear solid, but I heard generally what you're saying. I'm going
Hmm.
one shot. I'm going two other. I'm going distant three cocaine.
Okay.
Uh, Jamie Foxx.
Jamie
What do
Foxx.
we think with him?
I think it was the shot hit him wrong, and he had to hit the hospital. I think so. I think it hit his immune system in a way that it it threw off his immune system and his balance in a way. I mean, it's on. It works with the gosh darn genes. It's gene therapy. It's not therapy. It's gene modification of the transmission in a fundamental way. That this is new technology, and nothing big pharma does new works out. So there you go.
Exactly, and their track record for
Excuse me.
proven stuff doesn't even work out because there
Right.
always ends up, yeah. Essentially, they have a horrible track record, new or old. Yeah, we both agree on this. Is probably the you know who and what doing the thing.
Mm-mm.
Um, Sinead O'Connor, R.I.P.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
do we think with her?
I
Do
dig
we
her.
think she drowned on the paddleboard? Do you think it was the shot? Do you think it was cocaine?
Oh, I.
Do you think she played basketball too hard?
She's not built for great longevity. She's very delicate, and she pushed herself, and she did a lot of drugs and alcohol, and she really and
Her son passed away recently
I'm
too,
not
and yeah.
surprised. I'm not. It's just like I'm kind of surprised she lasted this long, and not in a mean way. I wish she was alive and well and happy,
Hmm.
but I'm
I
not.
am actually very. This
She,
actually
she
saddens me.
she's a likely. She was likely to pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, R.I.P. to I would say a legend.
She was a one-hit wonder, but she was
She had some other stuff,
quite a
but yeah, as
personality.
far as hits go, sure, you kind of have that. Although I think there was
The
other.
Sinead, she developed the
She called
Sinead.
out the Catholic Church was another one
Oh,
of her
good
big
for her.
moments.
Good for
Yeah,
her. Good for her.
sure.
Yeah, she was kind of an early Karen, but cool one. She's cool. I like her. I like
Karen,
her. She lived,
the Christian, the
she did a lot
Catholic
of things
Karen.
bad for herself, but she was genuine. She just really lived her, kind of tragic, but really lived her life. Yeah, I dug that.
Okay,
Independent.
one last thought about Jamie Foxx is if people are listening to this, no
Sure.
way it can be this shot. Uh, I can't prove it is. Craig can't either. I'm speaking for him, but I think he would agree with that. Um, to dismiss it as not a possibility at all, though, that's reckless. You know, I can't sit here and say it's definitely the shot. It could be many things. To say it definitely 100% isn't, though, that's just as crazy, if not crazier, to say it's definitely the shot. And the reason why is because every single vaccine in the history of them, even the ones that conservatives accept are good, such as the polio one, although there's, if you look up the backstory on that. Anyway,
Okay.
every single vaccine and pretty much drug
Pardon me.
has side effects, no matter how little. So if you want to say
Yeah.
it's highly improbable that it's not the vaccine, okay, but impossible, you're gonna have to come back to me in a week because that's how long it's gonna take for me to get ready to laugh for a week straight.
Yeah. I think vaccines are a very somewhat complicated thing, but when you are super stimulating the immune system to be highly reactive to something, then you are super stimulating the immune system with an antigen. And it just like when you super stimulate or turn something on that's, in a strong, in a kind of an unnatural way, there are real possibilities for it to be thrown
Something to go
way
wrong.
off. Yeah.
Something to go wrong.
Immune system and nervous system are just
I,
like
I just
right there
remembered my
next to each
original
other.
point that I even brought that up for.
Really
Why would
sensitive.
somebody who did have a complication, why wouldn't they just come out and say it, Craig? Because this is what a lot of people
Oh, he
on the other
did. I
side.
know he did have get the vaccine. He was pressured
Well, but
into it
but why don't
to
these
make
people
movies.
admit it? Surely, if they admitted it, nothing would happen to them, right? Like their careers would still go on.
But I guess I think the point is that they're trying to not. That would be to shame all the people who got them to do it and the whole industry. To shame the industry is kind of what he's trying not to do, not to not to draw, not to out them.
Essentially, I correct me if I'm wrong. Give me a course
Mm-mm.
correct if I need
Oh,
it.
yeah, where
If
we?
somebody comes out and says, "Yeah, I think it's the vaccine that fucked me up,"
Mm-hmm.
they're
Right. You're
They
stepping
might,
outside the main street.
yes. So even
You're not you're
there
against
doesn't have
Fauci
to
now.
be
You can't
this
be against
call from
Fauci.
the guy in
You're not
smoking
woke.
the cigar
Yeah.
saying, "Hey, Jamie Foxx, you know what to do, right?" No phone call needs to be made. No secret
Oh,
conversation needs to happen. He knows that if he speaks out on
oh
it,
no, that's an obvious thing. I
yes,
think
yes.
that's a given.
There's no
No,
there's no
that's the whole.
conspiracy.
No, because
Yes.
that's the whole thing of how it came to be. He wasn't going to get vaccinated, and then he wanted to make movies, and producers, it seems there's a cabal within the production community, which is the money, ultimately saying that if you don't get vaccinated, we're not going to work with you.
And you might have a paddleboarding accident.
I
Probably not him because he's so famous,
That is
but
something.
yeah, not going to work with you anymore. And a lot of people will say, "Oh, so what? They have so much money." When you have this much money and you're this rich, you're buying a lot of stuff that costs money, and you might sort of be making payments on it, hoping that work keeps coming. Not all of them. A lot of people that, hey, maybe they make 10, 20, 50 million. They don't live over their means and they are smart with it. But a lot of them do get into the
Sure,
more
they
lifestyle.
sure.
And so when somebody like me
Yeah.
says, "Oh, they got all this money," it doesn't matter when you buy a bunch of nice things. You can always spend more than you have for the most part,
And they get addicted to it, and they have to
unless you're
stay
Henry
that way.
Kissinger, in
Like
which case you deserve it.
Henry,
Yeah, I never want to see if
you know
Henry's
what?
out at a bar.
You know what Henry is? Seriously, he's like a beautiful dude. He's a beautiful soul. You want to kiss him.
I'm gonna say
No matter
this:
how
if
old he gets, you'll kiss him right in the mouth.
I'm coming out and I'm saying this, if it wasn't for Henry Kissinger, we would all be speaking Vietnamese. We would all be speaking Vietnamese if it
Bok
wasn't for Henry
choy,
Kissinger.
bok
Yes,
choy,
we'd
bok
have to eat
choy.
noodles every day. We would have to eat. What else do they eat? Like shrimp,
Jackfruit, horrible things.
coconuts.
Like even their fruit smells
Mhm.
terrible, like rotting
We'd be living
jungle.
under a Vietnamese techno-communist state.
They were coming over here. They
What we
had
have
some
now is
kite
way better.
technology. They had kites. They
And
had
they have
figured.
aren't Vietnamese ladyboys a thing too? So our government would be overrun with Vietnamese techno ladyboys. Isn't that kind of what would be happening if it wasn't for Henry Kissinger?
He saw the future danger. I mean, we could see it now. They're still ravenous for American soil.
You were telling me earlier that you saw that Will Smith might have been
Right.
gay slash bi.
Yeah,
I looked it
yeah,
up on
yeah,
Twitter and
yeah.
somebody said something about it.
Yeah, that
So
doesn't. I mean, it's
yeah,
somebody says something about it, but I will say that. Yeah, I very much assume that. And I very much assume that's part of why his wife had an affair with his son's friend, because I think she felt, there's this deep vindication, and that's why, because he's, not exactly, not weird, and
the tweet was
yeah,
the tweet was
yeah, yeah.
I know a bisexual king like Will Smith is going to hold down a female with pattern baldness. Obviously talking about Jada Pinkett Smith,
Yeah.
and that's kind of funny.
Yeah, and I think he felt the need to be real reactive, like "Thou doth protest too much" was something the British famous poet said, or playwright
Yeah, he
Shakespeare.
kind
He
of
doth protest too much, and it's obvious that he's super hyper reactive to it. And I'm only going to say that I think this would at least make sense. That being a backdrop for for him staying with her, at the same time they're being so hush hush about all the weirdness, but it just kind of escalating, and him at the same time feeling the need to super protect her and act real macho with the gayest slap in human history. From I mean, yeah, I mean, oh my God, that's the gayest act. Seriously, I'm just saying that's not a manly act to strike the guy is supposed to have played Muhammad Ali and play all these tough guys and is twice the size and kind of athletic, and goes and slaps this skinny kind of he's got some birth defects kind of stuff. The guy
Chris
can't.
Rock is a much smaller man.
It's beyond that. I mean, the guy is not coordinated or kind of physically capable in any
Cerebral
way.
palsy,
It
maybe.
was it was almost surreal how how effeminate that
It would have
move
been awesome
was.
if it was
Man,
part of the show as a gag, and they kind of said, "Ha got you" or something like that. But it wasn't.
no, that was disturbing. That was disturbing. That was Kanye West going on stage and yelling at girls. You don't deserve it. It should have been to another girl who's my friend.